because, well, bygones are bygones? Which is it?
You mean about her comments on Bernie Sanders
Yes,
and
exactly.
Sanders' supporters?
Yes.
Well, it's not helpful. She's having a problem with millennials and former Sanders supporters, and they were all in for Bernie. They never really took to her, and you can see it in the polls even today. She's not doing nearly as well with those under the age of 34 as Barack Obama did in both of his races.
So this tape comes out, she kind of, lumps them in with, living in their parents' basement on their barista jobs. Not all of them, I got to stress. But she gives a clear, disdainful impression of this force that is at the time just beginning to start this little revolution that almost upended her. I can't imagine they're going to be happy campers about it.
I'm interested to hear how Bernie himself responds. Of course, he's been out there campaigning for it at a number of college campuses, and I think they've just doubled his workload. If he's willing to do it, I assume he will be.
So you think, obviously, he'd be a little ticked, to put it mildly, but he's a good soldier.
Well, some of his people will.
He's a good soldier for the party. He's been campaigning with her. But I did find interesting, Professor, when she went on talking about they want free college, free health care, that what we haven't done has gone far enough. Now, oddly enough, she ended up adopting pretty much all of those policies, not to a letter. But would she then come out and say, hey, whatever I said back then, I've taken all your heroes' platform?
Well, politicians are very good at evolving. You know that, Neil. They evolve constantly, and they are ballet dancers who can turn on a dime. So I don't think anybody's surprised that a politician would change his or her views. But you do. That's something you answer for in a debate if the other candidate presses it. If the other candidate presses it.
Now, and if it comes up in a debate, now I'm not one to talk about media bias, of course, but I wonder if the media will exhibit half the zeal it did with the Mitt Romney famous 47% remark. Maybe it will. What do you think?
Some will, some won't. I don't like to prejudge them.
That is such a weak non-answer.
Well, it was a weak question.
Oh,
so I think,
touche, Professor. All right, well, my prediction is this. I'm not going to make any bets because I lose them with you, is the media won't cover it. I've already given my staff an assignment. Look at all the major paper coverage tomorrow. See if you see this even mentioned and compare it to the Mitt Romney. We'll see. We'll see.
I will look just to see if you're wrong.
All right, there you go. That's mean. Did I tell you I came back from surgery?
Yes.
Let me ask you about this vice presidential debate. You were raising something interesting the other day. It might get a little bit more attention this go round, maybe for no other reason than the age of the guys at the top of the ticket. And oddly enough, I was looking at some polls, and these guys have higher poll numbers than the guys at the top of their ticket.
Well, I'm sure some of the commentary you'll hear probably from average citizens watching it on Tuesday night is, gee, I wish we could flip the tickets.
Right.
Some people are going to like the fact that they're, relatively low-key. There'll be partisan clashes. There always are in a debate. But, these are people who are really substantive. They're very experienced. They've been in high offices. They've also participated in a wide variety of debates. So I expect them to do relatively well. Now, as far as their age is concerned, that's reassuring. Both candidates did the right thing in picking younger VP candidates, although I've got to tell you, as somebody who's very near 65, I resent your question, Neil. I think it's ageism. It's ageism. Clinton is, 68, and Trump is 70? That is, at worst, late middle age. Old age doesn't start till 90, and I don't think you've learned that lesson.
70 is the new 69. Professor, great. I know I'm going to be seeing you Tuesday for the big debate. I look forward to that. But when you make fun of me, I always feel like I should be holding my chest, and I get it's like a flutter or something. But we have
great.
We have
so
paddles
I'm responsible.
Here, so we're ready just in case. All right. Thank you, my friend. Always good having you.
Neil.
Good human being as well. All right. Now, about the media attention telling you about Republicans and all of those who have jumped ship to Hillary Clinton. It goes the other way around as well. Meet the Democrat who jumped ship for Donald Trump.